What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 232, and full series. So in this chapter, so Denji has an eye patch now, and Denji says he feels like he had a good and bad dream. He's like bleeding from his mouth or something. I guess he was coughing up blood or whatever. Then he says he wishes he had good dreams, like eating with the girl, playing video games, and he says he wants a pet dog. And then he's stabbed by some devil. Um, someone I guess wants to kill a bunch of devil hunters, and then he sees a naked woman killing all those other devils. Basically, it's power. And so Power sees Denji in the ground and says that he smells like a dog since she likes dogs. She feeds him her blood and says that it's a contract so Denji can live if basically he's like her servant. So obviously Denji's okay with that. Then so Power is attacked by someone, and then like you see like a it's like a chain attacking, and then Power turns around, and she and Denji see um you she sees the base like so the Naruto sees Naruto who I guess he's serving the role as Makima did in the part one, like literally that role leading the public safety. And so Power tries to attack her, and Naruto says bang, and then you immediately see Denji and Power wearing the suits, being the the you know devil hunters, and you see like dogs around them. So and Power says something about there's like a devil at school, and and there's a devil school, and Naruto says for Denji and Power to kill it themselves. Like Naruto's just she says she's basically all she's doing is playing video games. And yeah, and then basically they approach a devil, and then Power asks what does Denji want to use to kill this devil, and Denji say he uses an axe, but he says to give him a chainsaw, so he gets a chainsaw, and so they kill the devils. And Denji looks at everyone at the school, and he says he wishes he could have gone to school. And then so Denji sees also, you have like, the headless, bird whatever. He's like, wait, isn't that a devil? And he's like, so, and but Power's busy licking blood on the ground. So Denji gets his chainsaw chasing after. Also, I guess as Oz slips. Denji drops the chainsaw, grabs Asa, and Asa he says thank you, Chainsaw Man. And Denji's like, Chainsaw Man. and his heart starts beating. Now, where it's arousal or something with his memories, who knows? And Arthur's like, well, you were fighting with the chainsaw. Then he's like, oh yeah. Oscar's like, bye, and Denji recognizes that that's a devil. Yes, I guess he's with him. Then Power, I guess, is hungry, and Denji says that his heart thumped for a second, and so Power says, she has medical claims that medical knowledge. We know that's kind of full of crap. And she says that if Denji treats her to a meal, she'll cure it for him. And Powers says that they're gonna have fried chicken and egg rolls, fried rice, ramen, pot stickers, and ice cream. Denji says that, that he's broke, so that they should just go shake down some seniors, take down their like seniors at the public safety, and that's the end of the series. Okay, so here's what I say about this. There's some problems with this chapter. One, it sucks. That's obvious. So here's the this is this isn't even a parody. This isn't like Mind Python, the Holy Grail, Anchorman, Naked Gun. This ain't a spoof of something. Like if something was like a spoof of like a genre or something, you could get away with the kind of ending because it's make it part of the joke. There are comedies that can do something like this well. They can do that well because of the type of comedies they are. This isn't it. This is also meant to be somewhat serious. Like I said, somewhat, but so it's like the ending sucks. And so here's one thing: the Chainsaw Devil doesn't exist anymore. Pochita ate himself. So the thing is, when the chainsaw when the Chainsaw Devil eats the heart of another devil, all memory of that devil is erased. Now I don't know if that changes the history. It seems this has changed the history of the world. Like it seems this has changed the history of the world. Um, with like a world without Chainsaw Devil. But here's the issue: the thing is, if the Chainsaw Devil is no more, there shouldn't be chainsaws. Like there just shouldn't be chainsaws. And Chainsaw Devil ate himself, so chainsaws shouldn't exist at all. Like he ate the Chainsaw Devil's heart. He shouldn't exist. Like the chainsaws should not exist. That is just and like if chainsaws do exist, that should mean that a Chainsaw Devil does exist. There's some logic issues here. There are multiple logic issues here, like with that, and just to wait. And it was like, what the frick? Like, there's a way to introduce a new world if like a big historical change thing happened that changed history, but like this isn't how you do it. There are good ones that have done something like it. This isn't it. Like, it makes it feel like here's this chapter. I mean, look, with the whole War Devil arc and with some of the other ones, and with like really the whole War Devil arc, basically it's like we've been wanting for like everything to lead somewhere. Like it's people were expecting us to lead somewhere, but no, it's not led anywhere. Like the arc just did it. Just yeah. I also I think I wonder if Fujimoto just wanted to be done. I wonder if he just wanted to be done with this series. Like I mean, that's just what it seems like. It seems like with some of the, it did seem like with some of the later chapters that he just wanted to get it over with. And like, well, it's over with, and the ending freaking sucks. Like, I mean, look. A lot of people looking back at this will say it should have ended with part one. That would have been a good ending, and and yes, that would have been a good ending. That would have been great. That would have been a good ending. Like part one should have been the ending. Like I mean, looking back, people will say part one should have ended. And I wonder if the manga if that was the manga in there. I wonder if the anime is going to end with part one. Given some reception to end of part two, I also would not be surprised if the anime just stops with part one and say, yeah, we're not going beyond this. Because it's like it makes everything in part two look worthless. Like that literally with this ending, it makes everything in part. It was like, what was the point of making part two then? If like this is what we're really at. Like it's supposed to be like yes, we get Denji wants to get laid. That has been a very that is a very recurring plot point for the yes, he wants to get laid. Yeah. And basically he gets eaten, yes, right as he gets laid. Right as he's about to. Like it just ends. It's like what the frick? Like really it just ends. Like but she was like, yeah, I'm out. Bye. I mean, it's like just was Denji not die too from that? Like there's like it is so bad of an ending. As far as this whole series, the whole series is decent. The final arc had some interesting stuff, and there were some decent chapters in there. But it's like the way these last two chapters are gone. It makes them all look worse. It makes the whole War Devil arc look worse because of like it does. It makes it look worse because it's like what the frick? What's the point of Naruto then? It's like, what's the point of Naruto? What's the point of all these other devils being involved? Like, what's the point of this? Like, everything was introduced. We were like, okay, maybe this is interesting. This could be good. This looks good. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, no, no, it's meaningless. Like, yes, you can have bittersweet endings. You can have endings that may not always be happy, but you has to mean something. Like that's the thing is endings, regardless of it's sad, happy, whatever. It has to mean something. This ending meant nothing. That's kind of like one of the complaints people had with Attack on Titan. That ending had a lot of people thought, made everything look meaningless. Thing is, you don't want like thing is the you don't want your story to feel meaningless. Like when you have years of investment involved, you don't want the fans to make it feel like it's all meaningless. Because it almost is like, well, we wasted how much time do we waste reading this or watching this, whatever. That's essentially is like you don't want it to feel like a waste of time. I mean, Attack on Titan, people didn't feel like as much waste time because of how great those early arcs were. But it's like with this, it's like, I mean, this is not at the level of Attack on Titan, not even close. He is not even close. But it's like for Chainsaw Man, it's like, man, so much goodwill, and there's nothing. It's like there's so much goodwill, and it's like, yeah. Overall, I'll say this, despite the how terrible this chapter was, how terrible an ending it is, the series is still decent overall. I mean, it's mostly just the final arc that looks a lot worse looking back. Like the final arc just looks like this does make the final arc look really bad. Like even with some of the praise I have for some of the chapters in the final arc, for a lot of those chapters. Yeah, this I was expected to lead somewhere. This chapter makes it all look stupid. That's essential. It makes all of that the final arc look stupid. But overall, it's a decent series. Like the Chainsaw Man's a decent series. It's ending. It's done. there ain't gonna be a part three if there's no Chainsaw Devil. So yeah, Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers episode 12. So in this episode, Guy and Rio fight Ramaga. So Rio summons his armor, and like he's able since he was in possessed by Ramaga, he learned a lot of his moves and all that. And then yeah, so basically then like he fights him, and he's able to like dodge his attacks and all that. And then what happens, so the bunch of the other war like Ramaga's minions arrive to fight the like all the samurai troopers there, all six of like all of them. And then the rest of the old group arrive. So Kento, the warrior of earth, um like Shu or Xiu Li Hang, Li Huan, which are name you use, Seiji Date, Shimori, uh Toma Hashibo. Like, dude, like they arrived. Basically, White Blaze had freedom. So June had like he was saying a message to White Blaze. He located the old group, the rest of them. White Blaze was able to free them. They arrived. They help. And so Rio summons the Infernal Armor and defeats Ramaga. But then like Ramaga like absorbs all the dark power from that was inside of all the people, and so all the people are restored, and then like Rama gets in as like basically a more powerful form. So in the new samurai troopers, they fight Ramaga. Guy lets himself get possessed, and then he has Kaido stab him with the sword of domination, so that he both can die. And so the one happens to like Sagame, who was in the Divine Realm, helps the new troopers in the fight against Traumaga. And so Guy had like he basically falls in lava. Now, whether or not he's dead, it's unlikely. Like, but so Sagame basically seems that the Divine Realm has its own plans for what's going on. I I like so the Divine Realm and Samurai Troopers. So yeah, and then like I don't know how much of the Divine Realm yeah. So like the Divine Realm, there's a lot I don't know about Divine with Samurai Troopers. Like I don't think I don't know how much. I don't think there's a lot has been explained. So there's some mysteries regarding that. So we'll see what happens. Because there is a core, so there's core two coming. So we'll see what happens with it if guys left. And so Ryusei is shown in the divine world, like divine realm. Now how, like what happened, I don't know. Seems like Sagame is going to be the next antagonist. We'll see what happens. But the old trooper, dude, Rio is freaking awesome. Like, did the old troopers come back? It's like, okay, that was freaking cool. And how they did, I was like, okay, yeah, White Blaze. See, I thought it was a decent episode. Looking forward to the next one. Memory of a Killer, episode 8. So in this episode, so So you have Dave is like is investigating the Block Henry Block murder, and so he like Dave investigates the Fabroni jacket with the missing button, and so he says he tells the tailors they're picking up for a friend, uses Angelo's the name that the last name that Angelo uses for his family. Thing when the tailor mentions Angelo Doyle, he says, "Oh yeah, that's it." So ends with that, and the Porsche. Dave knows that Angelo killed Block. Now Dave has a conversation with Maria, basically saying that he would wait her for years, like he thought she would miss it. Then she got, of course, got married, is pregnant, and then and so Maria talks with obviously her husband. Her husband suspects that she's cheating on him with Dave. Maria says no. And then she goes to Dave, says that she did have feelings for him, and that if things weren't the circumstances weren't what they were right now, then she would be with him. But she then basically then so but she tells Dave that basically what that isn't fair for her, basically fair for for her husband, for Dave, for anyone. I would say also it's not fair for the kid. Like, so Angel learns about sewing me with the tailor. So when he sees Dave later, and basically Dave goes to see Angelo and tells Angelo that he basically heavily implies that he doesn't directly say he knows that Angelo killed Block, but he basically he implies he knows who did it, and he's willing to let go unsolved in a way that lets Angelo know that Dave knows, but he'll let it slide because of why. But tells him to be careful for FBI agent Grant, who asks questions in a way as if she knows the answer. Who then apparently is described as like a dog with a bone, doesn't know to let go. Then Angelo thinks back to all of his interactions with her in the hospital, grocery store, and then it's revealed that Grant is the ferryman. So Robert Parks, the doctor that Angelo carried out a hit on like previously before the ferryman was going after him. So basically, it's all for revenge. And you know Grant's granddaughter is in therapy, not really talking. And you see like there's like a flashback to Grant, you know, joining the granddaughter in the room with Parks's dolls. One of them is the ferryman, which is the favorite of Robert Parks's dolls back then. So, and Grant says, in the flashback that she's going to bring whoever killed Parks to justice. So, Grant is the ferryman now. Mm, that leads to some questions. So, how's the ferryman some feared individual by a lot, I guess, some people in the criminal underworld like that? Like, how is Grant so feared? How is the ferryman so feared? And so when trying to get information like earlier in the episode, Angelo goes to this uses the alias of Arthur to go to the bereavement hosted by, Parks' widow Julia. And, Angelo talks about, his wife's death, how he feels about it, like basically like some of his memories are fading, like his memories of his wife are fading. That's probably real stuff he's going through. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. There's some interest stuff with it, so do I do have questions about, okay, what's the deal with Grant? Like with with the ferryman seemingly being, I guess, some, I guess, I mean, not I guess a big enough, not like a big name. I guess those who know about the ferryman are scared. So it leaves us some questions like, what all has Grant been doing? Like, has it all been part of like her war? Is the ferryman thing just become part of her war path for vengeance that like she just became a fear name? Like, who knows? Like this, I'm sure there's gonna be some interesting reveals about that. But yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one.
And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.